Welcome to this edition of Hindsight is Horrifying, the show where two mostly normal and somewhat cynical adults discuss life as members of the TV generation. Now, here are your hosts, Darth Jader and Jason Mitchell.
Here's my first question. How did you get him to call us normal? Did you pay him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes total sense now.
No,
I've always wondered.
No, I paid him. I gave him a script and told him what to say.
Good to know.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, guys.
And welcome back to week 2 of... I'm not going to do the quarantine thing this time.
No, I was about to say that probably took a lot of effort on...
That was a really big mistake on my part.
It was really funny. You guys, some of you have seen it, but there's a woman screaming with a graphic every time we say the word quarantine. And I'm sure that took more effort than Jason really wanted to put into the show.
About halfway into it, I realized that I had made a huge mistake. Because I was committed to it, and yeah, that was a mistake.
Yep. Mistake for anybody who likes Scrubs. But yeah, so welcome to week 2 of quarantine special episodes.
Yes.
Where we once again have asked Mr. B to stay home because we don't know where he's been. But he's calling in. Say hi, Mr. B.
Hi, Mr. B.
I'll call you a cab later.
That's what you told me to say.
Yes, it is. I'll call you a cab later. You're a cab. But yeah, so welcome back to that's how severe quarantine is affecting all of us, really.
This is how we devolve into the Mad Max world. This is
we're
step
drinking
one.
prosecco out of coffee mugs.
Yes.
It's that desperate. Everyone's dead.
Yeah, because I found a dead body. There was a skeleton, and his arms were around a crate of prosecco.
Oh,
so I looted it.
So someone pulled that prank on you because you've always said that when you move out of your current home that you're going to leave a fake skeleton
yeah.
and well,
not necessarily a fake skeleton.
Okay, well, you're gonna leave a skeleton regardless of its nature
Real ones are expensive,
attic or basement or something, and just let the new owners discover it. So that's what you found, but at least yours had prosecco wrapped around its little bony arms, so that's good.
So
so this is where we're at.
This is where we're at, and we are doing a movie like we do every week, more or less.
Wait, we're doing a movie?
Yeah, well,
I was supposed to watch a movie.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead and laugh it up because. So
we're gonna be fighting this episode, listeners. We're gonna be fighting a lot.
So we're watching.
Hood Prince of Thieves before Jason can ruin that.
Yeah, it really made me want to watch Men in Tights because that's so much of a better movie.
Hey, well,
Men in Tights, am I wrong?
No, in fact, when Jade mentioned Robin Hood, I was like, oh, I like Robin Hood, and I was either thinking of Errol Flynn or Robin Hood Men in Tights. I had forgotten about this one, and then once I watched it, she lost me as an ally in supporting this.
I sure did.
Creamy, dreamy, horrible movie.
Yeah. Oh, come. All right, if we're going to start fighting, of course you would remember the Errol Flynn version, Mr. Brown. Let's start.
I was young when it came out. I was a child, but it was wonderful. Okay. I saw it in the theater.
Anyway, so listeners, this is the first, or hindsighters, this is the first episode that I've gotten to choose all season?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really chosen a movie.
Well, no, you chose Shaun of the Dead, didn't you?
I suggested it. Oh, yeah, that's right. I suggested it for a quarantine movie because nothing is sacred in my world. But with this one, with Prince of Thieves, I chose it because it is a childhood favorite. It remains a childhood favorite. I'll come back to that.
It was a huge movie.
It
was a hugely successful movie.
Yeah, back when Kevin Costner ran the world.
Yeah, that was
and Christian Slater. Before he was Slater.
He was Slater, yeah.
Before it was a mononym.
See, it's so funny because Christian Slater is doing the Shatner thing.
He is.
He's getting in front of it, whereas Kevin Costner
did not.
He still thinks he's Kevin Costner.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. And if you gentlemen think that I did not hit up Christian Slater on Twitter to try and get him involved in this episode, this scenario, no, you're wrong. I totally hit up Christian Slater and got 0 responses. Exactly.
Yeah.
Crickets.
Yeah. Well, it comes from a time when Kevin Costner was still, the sort of actor who could command a big budget.
Was this before or after Waterworld?
Oh, this was before.
It had to have been.
No, because
Waterworld destroyed his universe.
Waterworld's a better movie. It is. Waterworld isn't nearly as bad as people.
At me, ho.
Yeah. Here's the thing about Waterworld. Waterworld failed, and actually, it was the next movie. The guy who directed Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, directed it. Interestingly enough, Peter Boyle, not the actor, but the editor, who was literally locked out of the editing booth by, I think, Kevin Costner and maybe the director.
What? Yeah,
but they still had to put his name, in the credits because of the union rules. He came back and he edited Waterworld. It's so. I guess maybe
that's why they locked
up.
him out in the first place. He got a hold of Waterworld, and it's kind of Burt Reynolds. That's where he lost all the fans.
Well,
so,
the problem with Waterworld, and I know that's not what we're talking about, but I'm trying to change the subject, is that it failed because everyone heard it was the most expensive movie ever made, which is true.
At the time, it was.
At the time, it was. But not for any reasons that had anything to do with making the movie.
Right, like Kevin Costner wasn't even a Burt Reynolds situation where you get Smokey and the Bandit and Burt Reynolds earns a quarter of the movie budget. No, it wasn't anything like that. You're right.
They built the set for Waterworld, this hugely expensive set.
Yeah.
Very ambitious. And then I think it was a typhoon.
It was a natural disaster of some sort.
Destroyed it.
Yeah.
And they had so much money already tied up into it that the only choice was to keep
plugging
going
forward. Yeah.
And so it ended up being cost just a ridiculous amount of money to make. And then, of course, because of that, people were expecting something that it was really never intended to be.
They were expecting Braveheart or something
they were expecting
to that
Cleopatra
level.
or the Ten Commandments.
Oh, okay. Or Ben-Hur or something on that level. Yeah. But no. That's not what happened.
So anyway, Carrie Elways.
I'm sorry. You mean my personal friend Carrie? Yes.
I wish he was in this movie.
Well, okay. Here's a funny story about Men in Tights versus Prince of Thieves. Is that when they were making Men in Tights, they played with the idea of inviting Kevin Costner to be a part of the film. And
There's no way he was.
Ultimately, at the time, he was too expensive. So that's why Mel Brooks didn't have him on. But yeah, of course, hindsighters, as you well know, as I will repeat so many times until I die, my good friend Carrie does have that famous line in Men in Tights of, unlike other Robin Hoods, I can speak with an English accent.
Well, he was offered the role in this movie.
He was.
And he turned it down because
he didn't because the reason why he was in The Princess Bride is because he has that Errol Flynn type of look. And he kind of tried to fight the typecasting, and
big mistake.
Don't fight typecasting. That's the lesson.
Well,
guys.
and
I'll text Carrie and let him know.
Yeah, and Alan Rickman, who is the best thing in the entire movie, and I think we can. Oh, come on, you're telling me Alan Rickman's not the best thing in the movie?
He's the best thing in the movie, but
He's
I just see where you're going though. And
you mean how he actually thought the script was so bad that he actually got two of his friends who were comic writers to write additional dialogue.
I don't want to talk about
that. He snuck into the movie to make it better.
I'm gonna fight you all evening. I think that'll make this a better episode. So
it's Blinken.
It is Blink. But you can't compare the source when we don't have the parody. So all right, whatever. Before we get too off track, hindsighters, let's go with the synopsis while Jason's laughing his ass off. So,
okay, real quick. Okay, go.
All right, here we go. So we've got nobleman crusader Robin of Locksley, Kevin Costner, breaks out of a Jerusalem prison with the help of Moorish fellow prisoner Azim.
Jerusalem Prison.
I like that.
Let's start a band called Jerusalem Prison.
Fellow prisoner Azim, Morgan Freeman, and travels back home to England. But upon arrival, he discovers his dead father in the ruins of his family estate, killed by the vicious sheriff of Nottingham, Alan Rickman.
You almost said Rottingham, didn't you?
I almost did. Damn it! But then Robin and Azim join forces with outlaws, with Little John, Nick Bramble, and Will Scarlet, Slater, and save the kingdom from the sheriff's villainy, including Prince John, who's not in this movie in any way, shape, or form.
Which I didn't really, and I guess it's been a while since I've seen it, but because watching it again for the first time, I'm like, okay, well, what is the actual story? And it really did get me that there's no Prince John.
No, because they chose to run with the sheriff, and the sheriff was one of the people, you know, vying for Prince John to have power when King Richard went off to the Crusades.
Sorry, it's playing in the studio, and it's the part where it says it shows the cliffs of Dover, and it says 4 months later, and I laughed so hard
4 months
because
later.
because it really is like you expect to see Kevin Costner swimming on the beach.
Because of Waterworld. Oh wait, that happened after. We already determined that. But one of the things that this movie starts off
mullet. That's a hell of a mullet.
That is a king size mullet right there. And Jason, you know the difference between regular size and king size because my dog Millie, she's a king German Shepherd.
Yes, and that
candy
is
bar, king size candy bar.
Yeah, and that's
same logic.
That is a king size mullet right there.
It's a king size mullet. But the movie does start out, and I guess you took it seriously.
Wait a minute. He's eating sand crabs, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So Kevin Costner gets home. A boat brings him to shore, and he's just happy to be back in England.
Apparently, a boat took him. Okay, so like some guys in a little boat rowed him from Jerusalem, and then
it's a legend to begin with. My God!
But then he tells a Chew to get back on the boat and go home. Like, oh, okay.
10,000 miles is what they quote.
It's like, dude, it's been 4 months, and I just got here. I can't even pee.
And what does Morgan Freeman say? Don't expect me to go back, especially when you get somebody to attack me who attacks downwind and stinks of garlic. So there's that. And I don't see how Morgan Freeman's phoning it in. I think he does a fantastic job in this movie.
I don't. I think Morgan Freeman just got a paycheck and did a movie.
I don't like you because no, you're wrong. So anyway,
what happens is when the entire ensemble doesn't seem to care that much, or has a cavalier attitude, it bleeds over into every one of the performers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And Kevin Costner is the anchor, is the lead, is the linchpin here. And he just can't get his accent right. It's all over the place. You know, he just looks like some spoiled brat. And he doesn't look like some guy who's returned from years of combat. He's just smooth and supple.
I mean, yeah. Give some credit. Give some credit to the Russell Crowe Robin Hood, which I really didn't like. But
I didn't even see that one.
But at least Russell Crowe kind of came across as like a dude who'd been an English dude who'd been at war for years and came home like, you know, I'm gonna do some fighting around the world.
I guess
punching people and
because I will give this to you, gentlemen. That's fair. That Christian Slater and Kevin Costner are the least English characters in this entire movie about England.
Well, that's what's amazing.
Christian, I love you.
Christian Slater actually, as bad as Costner is, every time Christian Slater speaks, it's worse.
Because he's trying an English accent. You can hear that he's making an attempt at it.
Fuck me.
Yeah,
cool,
he cleared it.
Cool boy, mate. I'm from England.
Still trying to play Lord of the Manor. Like, it's not great. But, Christian, once again, I love you.
Well, he shouldn't have gotten Dick Van Dyke to give him, lessons.
Cockney accent lessons.
British accent, yeah.
But, what kills me is that later in the movie, Kevin Costner does implement an English accent.
Yeah.
Because he's got his little robe on, and it's when they're trying to trick the sheriff and save all of their people, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir, I'm always falling," and it actually sounds okay. It's not the worst English accent I've ever heard, but they don't get him to do that for the movie.
Well, and to be fair, I mean, that's like even with Sean Connery in the end,
Oh no, I touched my nose again. We're gonna die.
Yeah. all of a sudden, Richard the Lionheart is from Scotland.
Well, wasn't he
French?
Not French, no.
Well,
in
Aquitaine or wherever.
No, sorry, no, I'm laughing too hard. In our what's the movie? Highlander.
Yes.
He's Egyptian.
He's Egyptian. That's it. Well, he actually had just finished. This was a great point in his career.
Oh yeah, for 2 days worth of work for this movie, for Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, he made $250,000.
But to be fair,
he made $1 million.
Well, he donated all the money though.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
He got paid $250,000 to do the literally 2 days. No, it wasn't even 2 full days of work.
That's crazy.
But he donated the money to charity.
Oh, well, good for him.
Yeah. She's a stripper, I know. Named Charity.
Give it up for your dancer. But okay.
He spent the money. He spent the money to buy a vocal coach for Kevin Costner for his next film.
Money not well spent.
No.
Because
No.
in what?
I think Kevin Costner should have done like a Japanese movie next. Hi, I'm Japanese.
Like Joey on Friends.
Yeah.
Lip balm. Like you just need them to dub over you. That's all you need. So Mr. Brown, you're synced up with us this week. So we're at the point where Wolf is climbing the tree to get away from the wolf hounds, ironically enough. Are you seeing the same thing?
I'm watching that. I'm seeing the exact same thing. It's wonderful. So,
okay. I'm going to stick up for Kevin Costner. He does make a good, noble Robin Hood.
Who plays Guy?
Guy of Gisborne? Yeah. That would be the amazing Michael Wincott.
Okay. What else do I know him from?
Everything. He's a famous character.
Was he in The Crow?
Not... I don't know about The Crow, but he was in so many other movies. Like, he's been a voiceover actor. He's been in so many things.
Because he's good. He's talented.
He's fantastic. Yeah. He's the other thing that I guess the two of you liked about
this movie. Alan Rickman is just so...
Alan Rickman's amazing in this movie. Rickman. My God.
But the thing with Alan Rickman is that when you watch particularly the end, the dramatic climax, it feels like it's a comedy.
No, it doesn't.
The whole thing with the wedding.
It doesn't feel like that to me at all.
He's like cracking jokes, like they're doing bits with the whole like, yes, get it over with.
I understand all that, where it's like, because he does have that point where he's raping the maid Marian essentially,
and he does a comic thing where he spreads her legs apart.
Yeah, where I can't.
Yeah, yes.
Which, to me, okay, so gentlemen, I'm just going to make you feel old for a quick second. I would have seen this movie when I was about 11 or 12 years old.
When did it come out?
1991.
So it was the same year as Terminator 2.
Yes.
I read that.
So that being said, I took this movie so seriously when I saw it.
91?
It came out in 91. I didn't see it until I was about 12, though.
Oh. I was like, wait, what? No, yeah, because I saw it. I think I saw this in the theater.
You probably did.
I'm pretty sure I saw this in the theater. This is the sort of movie my dad would have gone, okay, let's go see a Robin Hood movie.
Yeah, why not? Because it's action.
He would have gone, hey, it's the guy from Dances with Wolves. I really like that movie.
Yeah, my dad would have had the same logic. The first time I remember seeing this movie, actually, my family and I were on vacation in Florida. Vacation, for those of you who will be born 9 months from now, the Coronitas. Vacation is this thing that we used to do
in the long ago.
In the long ago times, where we went to other cities and other states and even other countries.
By the way, Adam, I told my kid what you told your daughter about.
Oh no!
There won't be any concerts anymore. I swear that's the most awesome.
Y'all are terrible people.
Your friends are dead.
They're all dead.
It's a new world now, children. It's a new world. That's from the past.
No,
I saw a thing on Twitter. Somebody posted a picture. It was next year's school pictures, and it was a picture.
No.
It was a picture of the little kid from the Road Warrior.
No, see, I've gotten so bored in my quarantine. We were talking about this before we even got on film and on audio, Jason. But I've gotten so insane with my quarantine. I had a stage nightmare about Much Ado About Nothing, Adam.
That's scary.
Yeah, because that was about a year ago at this point.
Almost a year ago, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe that's what it is. It's just cyclical. But I had a dream that you and Jason were putting the show on again, and you didn't tell me about it. But I was still Beatrice. So you were like, hey, we're putting the show on, and I was like, damn it, I don't remember any of my lines, and I freaked out. So
I hate dreams like that.
Oh, it was so stressful. I hated it. But I'm also helping to contribute to torturing Adam's children because I sent him a great dad joke. I've got it pulled up if you don't, Adam.
You may have to, because you know me, I haven't checked things so
gotcha. So
beautifully lately. But I want to say right now, just really quickly, you're watching this old English film where people are walking through, the castles and so on, and you can just imagine how those castles smelled, right? Because they didn't bathe regularly.
Actually, I can't, Adam. That's just really insensitive of you.
It is, but I'll tell you, I can tell exactly how they smell right now because I have not bathed in 4 days, and I smell like an English nobleman
That's
right
pretty
now.
gnarly.
I hear you, man. Yeah. Whenever it's like, I go to my closet in the morning, and I just go, well, I wore that shirt yesterday. I'll wear this shirt today.
Oh, them boys of mine.
And then
God.
then the next day I forget which one I wore yesterday, and I end up wearing the same shirt. And the other day I woke up. No, and I swear I wasn't drunk. Okay, I woke up and I was wearing my pajama pants and the shirt and the shirt that I had worn to work. And I'm like, wait, did I not take my shirt off?
I'm so glad that
war never changes.
First of all, I'm really glad that Mr. Brown's not in the room, because if you're having trouble dressing too, I'm glad we're across the table from each other. So, social distancing, hindsighters, it's so important.
Yeah, social distancing.
Darth showered today, just to clear that up. Darth has been showering.
I'm pretty sure I showered today.
Oh my god. Anyway,
when you have a kid doing school from home, all of that stuff blurs into nothing because the morning is now misery.
I'm blissfully unaware of this. Oh, and this is something that we said we were going to ask Adam about. So, Adam, is the dynamic different at home when you have one child versus having two children?
Well, how would I know what it's like with one child? Because I have 2 months. Children.
Didn't you start off with one? Isn't that how it works?
Yeah, but that's an eon ago.
That was when we could leave the house and life was good.
We used to go to movies.
We had our children so close together that when we had our son, my daughter was just barely walking.
Irish twins.
That makes sense.
Yes, it was so close that if I had waited until my daughter was walking before starting my second child, there would not have been a second child.
Yeah, that's pretty, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I really hope your wife doesn't pay attention to the show.
Come on, she probably agrees with him on that one.
She's the one that told me that.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That's why my house is David country, and it's staying that way.
You made sure of that, didn't you, Mr. Mitchell?
No, that was a done deal.
You assured that.
It's sort of like, for those of you without children but who do have dogs, you know how you get a puppy and for 2 or 3 months you're kind of miserable, but then all of a sudden the puppy kind of loses its milk teeth and it becomes a dog and it's cool. That 2 or 3 month period for a baby is about 7 years.
Oh, God. Oh, see, hindsighters, once again, why Darth does not want to become a mother. Ever.
I think my kid became tolerable at about 6.
And your kid is surprisingly tolerable. Like,
he's
I've met
great.
Adam's children; they're both tolerable.
Yeah, no, he's great.
Like,
I mean, I wasn't sold on him for the first few years, but now I'm totally into him.
Now that you've realized there's no getting rid of that little bastard, yeah, he's sticking around.
If anyone knows.
Now hold that thought, Jason, until he's 13.
Oh, no.
Because something weird happens, and then you're ready to get rid of him again.
Well, okay, to be fair, though, Mr. Brown, your oldest child is a girl, so that's not really fair comparison, because Jason's got David, and you've got your two children of different genders. I'll keep their identities a secret, but
I have a friend of mine who, because all of his friends have sons. And
how did this happen to you? How are you swimming in this but
he finds out that his wife is pregnant and he's gonna have a little girl, and he gets all of his friends together, and he's like,
I know this story.
You can say, he was very upset. He was very stressed out, and I'm like, dude, why are you so stressed out? And he's like, we're gonna probably have to cut this part out, but
no, you said it on 10 things when you were hammered. So
he's only got all of you have only got one
all of them are coming at her, and he's only got the one girl.
Yeah, it was phrased more like, all of you parents of boys only have one Richard to worry about. I've got to worry about everyone in the whole goddamn world.
Yep, you've actually said the story. I know you don't remember it, but you did.
No.
Yeah.
No, but when he turns 13, I'm planning on. I have a whole series of plans in place, and we've talked about a few of those,
including the teachers and stuff. So we're not going to go back into that.
No, I was talking about flying him to Amsterdam. I told you that one, right?
You told me, you haven't told Adam. So
No,
I don't think you've told Adam this story.
No, it's my plan for the first time he ever gets his heart broken, and he because we all remember that horrible feeling. That was the girl I loved her, and you're like, dude, you're 16. You're not even smart enough to know how stupid you are.
You don't even know how badly a woman is gonna break you later in life.
Right.
It's gonna be so much worse.
No, and I've told Elaine this, and this is what will happen. Is the day he comes home and he's that mopey, and I know it's a serious situation. Get your passport. We're buying 2 tickets to Amsterdam. I'm taking you to the red light district, and you're gonna forget about her.
Yep. What's crazy is that Elaine agreed to this plan, and I love Elaine. She's one of the loveliest ladies I know. But damn, Elaine.
Well,
okay.
No, we've known too many kids who had just horrible reactions and stuff like that, and then eventually they realized, why do I even care? So we're just short.
Well, Jason, I just want to say, make sure you budget enough time for the visit, and then once you've come up with that budget, double it, double the amount of time, and that's how long it'll take you to pry yourself away from Amsterdam.
I think so.
That happened to me multiple times.
Well, but to be fair though, and I have to say this because I promised Elaine, I said when I said when I drop him off in the red light district.
Drop him off.
Well, yeah, I'm going to say, come on, y'all take care of them. It's Amsterdam. They're cool. But I said, I am not going to partake of any of that nonsense myself. That is completely wrong. I'm just going to tell David.
Yeah, don't cheat on your wife.
No, I said, David, when you're finished, I'll be over in that bar smoking all the hash.
They call it coffee bars. As Mr. Brown and I are aware, because we love Ari Shaffir, the comedian. I'm pretty sure coffee's illegal in Amsterdam, but weed sure as hell is legal. So great.
You know who else smoked a lot of hash?
Oh my God.
The Saracens.
I was about to say, can we bring it back to the movie, please, gentlemen? So we know what the movie's about, and
sorry.
What?
When she opens the window.
No more beggars.
Nobody gets to see the king. Nobody. No time. Or the wizard.
We've come for the Holy Grail. Yeah. We've already got one.
Oh, okay. Different movie. Got it. So anyway, guys.
Was anyone surprised in this scene? Was anyone watching going, my Maid Marian doesn't look anything like Mary Elizabeth Master Antonio?
No, not at all.
She looks like a horse-faced old crone.
Damn, horse face. That's mean. But the years have been kind, is what Robin tells her, because she's not exactly pretty. But here's the thing. So now Robin, now that we've talked through, a quarter of the movie, now Robin and Azim, they have left Jerusalem. They're back in England.
Aziz Light. Sorry, different movie.
I hate you so much. So Robin and Azim are back in England, and Robin is... Shut up! Robin and Azim are back in England, and Robin is sworn to protect Maid Marian by his best friend, aka her brother Peter, who he fought alongside Peter in the freaking Crusades. Because when the movie starts, you
said Peter.
I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit you really hard on camera.
Okay.
So Robin's back, and I guess it's just a 90s thing where they had to have the strong, independent woman thing where Marian doesn't have any male help on her land.
Yeah, she's stupid.
Her mother lives in England where she attends court, and Marian has no interest in that. Yeah, so she's out in the country.
She doesn't want to go to a place where she won't get raped, because then she'll have to hang out with people who gossip.
Yeah, all that gossip and
that's
currying favor. She doesn't like that. But it's okay, because Robin of Locksley, Kevin Costner is going to protect her. And as we know, Englishmen can't shoot for shit. So it's good that Kevin Costner is looking after her.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, his best friend Peter does die in the Crusades when they're breaking out of that Turkish prison. Joey, You ever been to a Turkish prison? So that happens in the beginning, but now he's back to protect Marion. But meanwhile, he has become an outlaw because
it sure is convenient she's wearing a mask during the fight scene.
So she's the strong. That's what I'm getting around to.
You can't see her face.
But Robin's an outlaw now because he kills a bunch of the sheriff's men because they're chasing a little boy, and he stops them and kills all of them except for Guy of Gisborne, which is
he kills a bunch of them.
Michael Wincott, the great character actor we discussed. And so he's an outlaw now. But meanwhile, since he's sworn to protect Marion, he goes to her house, and she's the one in like a ninja outfit attacking people with a dagger. Not a sword, a dagger.
Yeah, she's in the stuntman outfit.
Yeah, she is. And she does kick the shit out of Robin.
Bring in the gimp. Bring in the gimp.
Right in the cockles.
Right in the subcockles.
If I had directed this scene, and I think if this movie was made today, one thing that would be different is that it would be a lot more violent.
Well, yeah.
Because I think, and it's weird because I don't normally say, you know what this movie needs? More violence. I'm not that kind of guy.
Yeah, you're not a gore person. Yeah,
no.
That's for sure.
But I think it would have worked better if they had actually been more violent. Like in the end, when he's fighting Alan Rickman.
The sheriff of Nottingham.
Yeah, the sheriff.
Gentlemen, what is the sheriff's first name? Did anybody catch that?
Bill.
Adam?
Clay.
Joe?
No, his name
Clay?
is... Don't shoot me, please. Oh, God.
Oh, he was doing a Kevin Costner impression.
Okay. In all seriousness, it's like in The Princess Bride when you find out that the six-figure man, his name is Tyrone. He's actually even billed as the Sheriff of Nottingham as the character, but his first name is George.
George.
Yes.
George.
Oh, okay.
George of Nottingham.
When the bishop is marrying
the bishop.
when the bishop's marrying him and Marion rather illegally and definitely against her will in a lot of ways, he calls him George. So
okay,
this is the sheriff George. So you're welcome. A little bit of trivia y'all weren't expecting.
There you go. Here's trivia. Do you know why Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio is credited as Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio?
Why?
I heard her say this once in an interview. She went to like her first ever audition and she got the part. But when she was waiting to do the audition, she was filling out the paperwork and it said full name. And she wasn't thinking, and she just wrote her all three names.
Okay.
Think like at a doctor's office, it says full name. You're at your full name.
Thinking it's official.
So she wrote Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio. And
man.
She got the part, and that's what they used, and so she was credited under her full name, and that was it.
Just think, if Christian Slater, he could have started his own movement. He could have just written Slater. And we would have been doing this for 30 years, but no.
Yeah.
He had to be Christian.
But like she does
while.
In her normal day-to-day life, she never went by Mary Elizabeth.
No. Just Mary or Elizabeth
just Mary,
or Liz or whatever. However you go by. But here's a bit that I can't pass up. There are a bunch of tiny joke bits, and Adam, I think you're a little bit ahead of us in viewing the movie. But the telescope. So, so Kevin, I like that they fit that into the movie because it makes sense that Kevin Costner wouldn't know, or Robin Hood wouldn't know what a telescope is. Azim has one, and it's a primitive one. But he's like, oh, look, here are the sheriff's men. Here they come. And Kevin Costner freaks out thinking that they're closer than they are. And he whips out his sword thinking that he's got to fight some people. And no, they're really still like 800 feet away. But I love that bit.
Well, Robin Hood has a problem with distances because later on in the movie, when they establish their Ewok village, they put all of this effort into making this like cool network of like stuff in the trees.
Yes, they do.
And then they put lookouts in the trees who are capable of seeing the bad guys when they're 10 seconds away.
Okay, fair enough. I can't. I mean, like that one.
The bad guys are like, "There's bad guys over there."
Yeah,
you guys, you can see them, right? Because they're like right there.
And I can make a little bit of fun of this movie because the arrows make a lot more noise than arrows. Yeah, arrows are like, up! Like, they're really noisy.
I'm fine with that.
And somebody even yells at one point, that's the notification arrow! Like, they don't say it that way.
No,
but
you're
like,
right.
That's the arrow, Robin, oh my God.
And then they're like all standing there, and the dude keeps shooting. He shoots 3 arrows to alert them, and they're
and it's just,
like,
and it's
dude,
not even,
we're right here.
It's not even anyone to alert them to either. It's Duncan.
Yeah. No, but then immediately after that, because he shoots the one, and it's Duncan, and they all gather around Duncan, and he dies.
Oh,
and then the dude shoots 3 arrows to get their attention. I'm like, buddy, we're right here. You can just say
Stop shooting at us.
Yeah.
But we have got to talk about this moment too, gentlemen, because you have Guy of Gisborne, the wonderful Michael Wincott, who rides up, and he's kind of the sheriff's enforcer. He's really more of the sheriff. He's the one who does a lot of the sheriff's duties, but the sheriff's kind of
because they basically what they do is they make the sheriff Prince John, and then they add
and
another
Guy of Gisborne
character.
is kind of the
Guy
sheriff.
of Gisborne becomes the sheriff.
Yeah, there's no Prince John in this movie, so even though he's a huge part to the legend, but yeah, Guy of Gisborne rides up because he follows Robin to Maid Marian's property, and he's sworn to protect her, but then he has to run off. Like, that, it's a whole part of the setup with the movie where Peter dies. He gets shot in Jerusalem, escaping with Robin from the Turkish prison. And then there's no payoff to it. Like, Robin's got to protect Marion, but then he can't do anything to help her because he's an outlaw.
Yeah, because, also, too, if Peter hadn't died, would Robin have just said, fuck her?
Well, he wouldn't have had to protect her, because when Peter dies, he gives Robin his ring, and he says, please look after my sister Marion. And that's Robin's whole sworn duty, especially now that he comes home to England and his dad is dead. His estate is considered forfeit because the sheriff does frame his dad for being a devil worshiper, and so Loxley lands are forfeit, according to Duncan.
Apparently you just say that and people just...
Well, back then, yeah.
Well, there was a whole thing where, like, because like the bishop was in on it too, because like Robin asked the bishop, he's like, oh yeah, it was totally worshiping.
He said, I asked your father 3 times because his answer vexed me so grievously.
Yeah.
I asked him if he worshipped the Dark One, and like the bishop is in on it too. Yeah. So it's a whole gentlemen. I have this movie memorized. I'm obsessed with this movie, and I love it, and I'll never stop loving it. So you can deal with it.
Well, it is a perfect movie for an 11-year-old girl. I'll give you that.
Yes. It even has naked Kevin Costner.
No, it does not. That's a body double.
Oh, that's not his butt?
Nope.
Oh.
Unlike Mel Gibson, one of the many loves of my life, Mel Gibson does his own butt work, from what I understand. Kevin Costner in this movie did not. So that is not naked Kevin Costner.
Okay.
So, and I won't lie to you, gents. I was actually more of a Christian Slater girl back in the day. I liked Robin Hood plenty fine. He was, Kevin Costner. Who can debate that? But I was more of a
Slater's so
Slater girl.
dreamy.
He's got the hair. My goodness. But yeah, I love me some.
Once
Christian
again,
Slater.
for an 11-year-old girl, he'd be very attractive. And what movie turned you on to Christian Slater?
This movie, actually. This movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because everything. Think about everything else that he'd done before that, like Heathers. I've caught up on a lot of Christian Slater's work because he's I want to say he's 50 now, unless I'm quoting incorrectly, but I think he's 50 now, and so most of his movies, especially the big blockbusters, they happened before I was really watching movies.
For me, it was Tremors. That's my favorite Christian Slater movie. I love that movie. I love Tremors. I wish we were watching Tremors. Oh no, is that Kevin Bacon?
Christian Slater's not in
That's
Tremors.
Kevin. Never mind. That's Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon and Christian Slater are kind of interchangeable for me.
Yeah, they are.
Not even a little bit. No, they're not. You're both wrong. Christian, I'll go to Twitter and defend your ass. My God, no, you're not. They're both awesome people, but you mixed up Kevin Bacon with Christian Slater?
Well, they're basically the same guy.
No, they're not.
Well, what movie am I thinking of that I saw?
Christian Slater doesn't dance. He does sing in this movie, though.
What is okay? Name some more Christian Slater movies. I want to, because I know there's one at least that I liked.
I'm not digging
Red
you out
Dawn.
of this hole.
No, that was.
He's not in Red Dawn either, you idiot.
No, that was
Red Dawn.
Stop. See, you can't talk shit when you don't even know what Christian Slater movies are.
Well, no, name another Christian Slater movie.
Heathers?
Tucker, the Man in His Dream.
That was a great movie.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was a really good movie. And wait, who
No, I'm not helping you.
You haven't seen Tucker?
No,
It's a great
I'm
movie.
saying I'm not
Romance?
helping you do this.
Okay.
'Cause-
All right.
Come on, True Romance.
Oh, yeah. True Romance.
Idiot. So, but gentlemen, I have to debate with you right now. In what other movie have you heard Christian Slater sing?
Was he in a vampire movie?
Shut up. But he has a song, so here's what's happening in the movie, because God, the men won't stay on board with this one. So Robin and Azim wind up in Sherwood Forest because the sheriff's men chase him away from Marion's property.
Yes.
And they find out,
The
oh no,
spooky haunted
yeah,
forest.
Sherwood's not actually haunted. And poor Duncan, what's his name? Walter Sparrow. I loved him so much. He died back in 2000. He was such a great character actor. But Duncan, who had his eyes removed by Guy of Gisborne, and the sheriff and his witch looking on. So, like, you've got Azim, Robin, and...
Latrine.
What?
Latrine.
Up! So you've got Robin and Azim and Duncan going into Sherwood Forest, you ass.
Hey, Blinken.
They're trying to cross the river in Sherwood Forest. This is where you first see Christian Slater, because he trips Robin with an arrow. Mm-hmm. I guess they have a bunch of them strategically placed, but luckily Robin trips over Christian Slater's arrow, and you find that Christian Slater's got some sour grapes against rich guys.
Yeah.
And you don't really know what his problem is with Robin until later. There's some payoff in the movie, where it turns out that Christian Slater, who is Will Scarlet, he is Robin's brother.
Yeah.
And the movie could have been a lot different, because the first script, the early draft basically was Azim was named Aslan, like the lion. Yes. Will Scarlet wasn't Robin's brother to start off with.
Well, because he's not in the legend. I mean, that was something for this.
He's in a lot of different versions. So, like, Will Scarlet's Will Scarlet's in the Carrie Elwes version too.
No, I know, but I'm saying but he's not his brother in the legend.
No.
Yeah, that was something.
That was something that
yeah.
this version made up for sure. So Will Scarlet was no longer Robin's brother, and he dies. The sheriff kills him in the original draft.
He's that kind of character. You sort of expect him to.
Yeah, because he's kind of a douchebag.
Well, he's the sort of character that particularly in this era, you would expect him to be like. He's not bad, but he's working against the hero because he's got his reasons. But then he comes around and he redeems himself.
Right.
But in the process, gets himself killed.
Right.
You know.
So, and his character sort of reads that way. I totally see what you're saying. And then Fanny, Little John's wife, the redhead they've got like 8 children. The quarantine for them, gentlemen.
Do they not? No. I mean, when you're making a movie set in England and you name a woman you can't name a woman Fanny.
That's right. Fanny. Are we introducing something new to Darth Jader right now?
How? Okay.
Don't ever use the word Fanny.
Get out of my head, Mr.
Around
Brown.
a British person.
Why?
Because it means vagina.
Oh, we've talked about this.
Yes. That's why in England.
Yeah, like so.
Yeah.
So when you have your fanny pack, you don't call it a fanny pack in England. You call it a bum pack.
I think this was
Just remember that.
actually taken out of one of our episodes because some really inappropriate conversation happened after it. So,
Probably.
I don't think this is in any of our conversations that our hindsiders have seen. So let's just leave it at that for right now. But yeah,
We'll move on.
Yes.
Fanny, so the wife of Little John, she leads a revolt in the kitchen in the early draft, along with Will Scarlet dying and all that other stuff. But yeah, obviously things changed because when Slater signs on to a project, he's not going to die. You don't kill.
Yeah, I do
Slater.
like though that Fanny decides, Little John's gonna I'm gonna go save our son, and his wife insists on coming along and contributing nothing.
Yeah, it's a little bit strike zone that way because they make a meal out of her going, I've given birth to 8 babies, you big ox. I'm gonna go help break our son out too. And then she doesn't do a whole lot.
The only thing she does is she sort of distracts guard.
No, she brings the swords.
Yeah.
She's a good sword dropper.
Yes.
She's a sword dropper, remember?
Yes.
She's got the wood pile wrapped up in linen or whatever, and she does help bring in some of the weapons.
A bundle of sticks.
Yeah.
Which
they go. Adam, what are those things called again?
I know it.
A fag.
That's
No.
a fag.
No. But in the American Gladiators,
she skipped over it.
What's it called?
What, the Q-tips?
Yeah, the Q-tips. What are they called, Adam? I know you know this.
They're called pugil sticks.
Yes.
Pugil sticks.
Because
yes.
Kevin Costner goes full American Gladiator on Little John in a river in Sherwood Forest, so they're minus the Q-tips. So it's like, Jesus, is this made of limestone?
That is absolutely one of the best scenes in Men in Tights.
And it is. But what's great about Morgan Freeman's character, Azim, is that he vows to stay with Robin until he returns the favor of saving Robin's life, because Robin freed him from the Turkish prison.
But really, he just wants to be his friend.
Well,
because he doesn't leave.
Who wouldn't want to be Kevin Costner's friend? I'm sorry. Would either of you not want to be friends with Kevin Costner?
I'd be friends with Kevin Costner.
What about you, Adam?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I'd be.
The man, awesome. Kevin Costner, the man.
Okay.
Love him.
Not Robin. Okay.
Hey,
fine.
look, The Untouchables, that's still one of my favorite movies.
Wyatt Earp.
You know, Wyatt Earp is good. It's just, you know.
You're such a judgmental. You judgeroo. Go play your judgery-do.
Well, we're talking movies. That's the whole point of the show.
I know.
No, Tombstone's better.
Tombstone is
It's a better Wyatt Earp movie. They're both Wyatt Earp movies.
No, okay, fine. I can't even argue with that, actually.
I mean,
so you're right. You're right.
The only thing I can think of when I watch Kevin Costner's Wyatt Earp is that, one, it's like 7 hours long. It's a long, it's a long movie, and it's very boring. It is. Right. It's pretty boring.
He's got a thing for movies that are really long, like Dances with Wolves.
Dances with Wolves is great.
It's like 3 hours long, though.
It
Goes on forever. So he's got a thing for pieces that just last forever. So that is kind of Kevin Costner's thing.
Well, what has he done? I mean, I know he did that. Was it a Netflix or an Amazon about the Marshalls? It was him and Woody Harrelson.
Where they were the G-men or something.
Yeah, they were the ones who went after Bonnie and Clyde.
He also killed Dane Cook, and I think it was a movie called Mr. Charles. I'd have to look it up.
I don't even know.
But
if he killed Dane Cook,
no, he literally slits Dane Cook's throat open.
Oh yeah, no, this movie's great now. I love this movie now.
See, there you go. All right, I win.
That's enough, Dane Cook.
Yeah,
that's enough.
Kevin Costner killed you. That's all you need to know. So yeah, we are now in Sherwood Forest with all of Little John and his men, and the story varies every time you tell it because it's a legend. So people can take poetic license with it however they want.
Yeah.
And even when they're fighting in the river, Kevin Costner's like, "Oh, I think I made it past the gate, John Little," because that's his name in the movie.
Yeah.
Or should I call you Little John? And
well, I mean, that's his name in the legend, isn't it?
No,
his name is
but
John Little.
You have to have that moment. It's not the title of the movie moment where it's like, "Oh, that's the title of the movie." No, but with Little John, you're like, I just called him Little John.
Little John and Robin Hood walking through the
forest, laughing back and forth.
Look, and can we all just agree that out of all the Robin Hood movies,
that's the best one. Oh my God, that's the best one.
Hands down, the Disney one is the best.
Absolutely.
I think that's my favorite Disney movie. It's
one of the best.
I love the Robin.
It is one of the best. I won't let. And there's Prince John is in it.
Yeah.
You also have the sheriff, and so many good voice actors in that movie too.
And it caused so many young people to have very confusing thoughts, though, because
I'm gonna admit right now. Let's go round table and say, because y'all might be out of this category depending on.
No, she was hot.
Oh, Maid Marian, the fox.
Yeah, she was hot.
She was a total fox.
Yeah, she was. Yeah. Well, come on. I mean, Robin Hood.
Oh no! I was about to volunteer.
Yeah, okay.
He and Peter Pan were two of my animated crushes growing up.
Peter Pan, huh?
Did you kiss the television? Did you kiss the television?
That's
how you can tell.
I'll call you later and let you know.
All right, thank you. Do you know who played Little John in the original Robin Hood from 1938?
No.
Tell us.
Alan Hale.
Really?
Father
that was Adam's
Alan Hale Jr.
I'll be damned. That's hilarious.
No way.
Yes.
Well, and then his son got into the business, and he was the skipper.
And he became the great skipper. Yeah.
And then he became the fat sheriff in Giant Spider Invasion.
Y'all just ruined my whole day.
If you haven't seen the Giant Spider Invasion, you really need
Nobody's seen the Giant Spider Invasion. You're the only one who goes down these weird ass rabbit holes.
Oh no! I beg to differ. It has been seen by millions of people.
No, I know,
Yes,
but
yeah.
just
It's such an awful movie. But
you
it's
belong
really
to
great.
that weird ass rung of people. Good for you. But yeah, so
Oh wait, we have to tell Adam, and I can't get it because it's on my phone. My neighbor, he gave his suggestion. My neighbor's going to be coming on the show at some point, so he wants to do Captain Kronos, Vampire Hunter, which is one of the last of the Hammer horror films.
And Jason's a big fan of the Hammer horror films, so
Yes.
I can see why you and Russ are friends. I can really see why now.
It's just schlocktastic. it's a guy who comes. It's basically Robin Hood because it's about a guy, an English guy who comes back from war. Only this time he finds out that like his wife is a vampire now, so like he kills her, and then he says, "Oh man, I'm gonna go like kill all the other vampires," and they make a movie about it.
I hate you. Well, that'll be fun. So, Adam, if you want to join us for that one, it sounds like you're invited. Because my God, that's a mess.
If you would have me, I would be there. I love Horst Jansen, who plays Kronos. And the only reason I'm saying that is because I just looked it up on IMDb. I've never heard
you can
of
do
Horst.
that from the bunker. How are things at the bunker right now, Mr. Brown? How you doing? How's quarantine treating you?
Well, we're in week 2, and I'm going to shower tonight. I've decided it's time. But yeah, no, we're doing fine. Doing fine.
That's good.
We haven't killed each other
Yet.
so that's good.
Yeah, you haven't. Oh, because this is what, gentlemen. Remember how we decided last episode that the babies born in December would be called Coronitas. Well, guess what?
Did you like that graphic, by the way?
Oh my God, I lost my damn mind. But in 2030 they'll be quarantines.
That's right. Holy crap. And when they're 21, they can go to a bar and get a quarantini.
Yep. We just saw.
We're gonna look back on this and laugh one day.
I can't take credit for the quarantine
so.
thing. Somebody gave me that. And we'll get around to Jason's challenge because I did remind Adam last night we have to play the game of who would we like to play us in a movie and who would probably more realistically play us in a movie. So we'll get around
and we'll
to that.
do that now, but please refer to the film and describe what's happening now. The Sheriff of Nottingham just gave Maid Marian a gift, which is a diamond or jewel-crusted knife.
A dagger, yeah.
A dagger. And talk about comedy, because later in the film, when he gets stuck with it, he pulls it out, he looks at it, it's like...
Gets killed with his own dagger.
Like the irony.
I know. And in that scene, it looks like Alan Rickman has some line in his head that he wants to say.
No, and he said it to her. He was trying to get Maid Marian to move her household within the city limits. And he said, if you did that, I would be able to give your every need my personal attention. And I'm just sitting over here in the corner like, I would love Alan Rickman's personal attention. My God. So come on, Maid Marian.
Yeah, but he's
a
bit rapey in this movie.
I mean, yeah, just a tad. But but you got to take what you can get
my room,
during
10
quarantine.
o'clock. My room, 10:30. Bring a friend.
Oh, because even when you are introduced to the sheriff,
that was one of the lines that his friends wrote for him.
Really?
Yeah. Any of the whole thing with the spoon. And
that's one of the most quotable lines in the entire movie.
Yeah, that was not in the script.
We just hit it, and I love that you brought that up because Robin actually hasn't faced off with the sheriff at all since he's gotten home. He's only faced off with Guy of Gisborne and the sheriff's guys. So he does what he asks his servant, Duncan, who's had his eyes removed, unfortunately, when Robin's father was killed.
When you say it like that, it sounds like it was an elective surgery.
Okay, so Guy of Gisborne straight up stabs out Duncan's eyes. How about that? Is that better?
I went to the doctor, had my eyes
removed. With the sheriff and his witch looking on. Walter Sparrow. I love you. I love you so much.
I love how Alan Rickman beats this guard by punching him in the helmet. And I'm thinking, that's got to tell you that your helmet technology is lagging behind.
And gets his cape caught on, some like snag.
Yeah,
Some-
which that had to have been ad-libbed.
Yeah.
I'm
That has to
guessing.
have been.
If you think about it, you're wearing a helmet and a dude has got a glove on and he's beating the hell out of you, and I'm thinking
Just let him hit your helmet. Yeah.
yeah, your helmet's not that good. You might as well just take it off and just let your hair breathe, because it's not stopping. I'm telling you, it's not going to stop an arrow.
And this great line too. So Robin is a horse stealing mother effer, because when he's at Marion's house, he and Azim steal her horses, and then he steals the sheriff's horse. And they're sitting there in the forest now, and
Yeah, but horses were like cars back then. So it's just like a dude boosting cars.
So yeah, but even John and Slater, I'm just gonna call him Slater. But yeah, they're like, oh, you stirred up a damn hornet's nest now, and you started a war, and they're all mad at him and stuff. But let's not.
Yeah, well, I meant to do it, man.
But let's not skip over that great line. So when Robin is still within the city limits, what he asks Duncan, his servant, he says, did they still give alms to the poor at Mass? So he goes to the church to talk to the bishop, get the skinny on what really happened with his dad. So that's all happening. And then this is the first time he runs into the sheriff.
Yeah.
We've seen the sheriff a couple of times at this point, but
I'll
he
get
hasn't.
you, Robin of Locksley.
So, like, this is the first time that they run into each other, and he just slices the sheriff's face open. And as a person who's had their face cut open, it's not pleasant.
Probably should have sliced his throat open. Then the movie would have been shorter.
I mean, maybe, but then.
But I have a question. If that's the first time they saw each other, how would they know that they are each other?
Well,
That's a really good point.
The sheriff knows who he is, and apparently everybody's kind of familiar with each other, because when Guy of Gisborne comes in, when they
he must have seen the painting that his dad had, because his dad had a painting of Robin Hood.
It might have been the painting.
That's it.
Yeah.
But when Guy of Gisborne comes in, he's like, there was a hooded man who told me not to harm his people.
Make the stitches small.
Yeah, make the stitches small.
I love Alan Rickman. I love Alan Rickman. He's so awesome.
I'm trying to think of how this movie would even be without him. It doesn't exist.
It would be unwatchable.
It doesn't exist.
Without
yeah,
Alan
you're
Rickman.
right. All right, I'll cop to that. But when Guy of Gisborne does come in, he's like, I found this hooded man. He said not to harm your people, and he said his name was Robin of Locksley. And the sheriff goes, oh, the prodigal son returns, and he knows who he is. So they've.
Oh, okay.
He
So
goes,
they were childhood friends, apparently.
something like that, because the sheriff knows who he is. And, when you murder somebody's parents...
And how bad of a man do you have to be to pull down a birdhouse?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
What kind of a monster?
Leave us the sow. Her young ones will feed us through the winter. Yeah. But now, so all of the men in the forest, now their families are outlaws too, because Robin stole the sheriff's horse.
So they're going to make their Ewok village, which there's, and I don't.
The Ewoks helped us win against the Alliance.
What do you mean
Or
us?
against the Empire.
What do you mean us?
Us. Everyone who's against the Empire. Oh my
Dude,
God.
I'm totally for the Empire. If I lived in that,
Get the hell
are
out.
you kidding me? That's where the money's at, dude. Let all those folks do it. Yeah, come on, man.
Stormtrooper pay. Stormtrooper pay is not bad.
Right.
It really isn't.
You get benefits. They pay for your college,
You've been watching.
Healthcare
on the Stormtrooper bill.
and a pension.
Yes.
There is a pension.
Yeah.
Hey, both.
If you live.
If you live that long.
But,
Yeah.
but like on Clerks, do you get life insurance when you get blown up on the damn Death Star? No, probably not. I don't think your company's looking after you that well, gentlemen.
Yeah, but that was one little thing. Okay.
One little thing.
One incident.
It's no little thing.
One
It's a space
incident in
station.
an otherwise brilliant
I hate
record.
you. No, but okay, I do have to interrupt because Kaylee, like I've told you both, has started watching Star Wars during this quarantine. And I mean, full stop. Like, she's never seen 4, 5, 6. Like, she's brand new to it. She's seen the latest ones, but she hasn't been invested in it because, let's face it, they're not that great. No. So, but she texted me, and now that the movies are on Netflix or streaming wherever she can find them. Disney Plus, that's what it is. And she was like, is 4 any good? And I was like, are you kidding me? So yeah, I told her the proper order in which
it's boring.
Shut up. No, it isn't. John Williams music and Luke Skywalker. No. Blue Milk. Shut up. So I've told her the proper order in which to watch Star Wars, and she's been sending me these just adorable text messages. The first one was, oh my God, Harrison Ford is in Star Wars, and I was like, oh no. Oh no, but
Yeah.
then she'll text me.
Welcome to being old.
Then yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I hang out with older gentlemen.
When young people say shit like that to you,
is that what it feels like?
That's what it feels like. It's like my friend LJ. Whenever he was teaching a class of like 13-year-olds, and he said something where I don't know what he was talking about, but he said it's like Terminator 2, and none of them knew what Terminator 2 was.
Oh, that stings.
Not one of them.
Yeah, I know what that is.
It's like your dad.
Well, Darth, if you want to blow her mind, let her watch American Graffiti.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
Richard Cunningham and Laverne and Shirley.
Yeah.
In a movie directed by George Lucas.
She won't even know who that is because, remember, I told you guys this a long time ago, so I don't expect you to remember. She didn't know who Fonzie and Richie Cunningham were.
How would she?
Yeah, exactly.
How
She's 18 now in 2020, so that's not her thing. But she has been texting me adorable stuff like the Harrison Ford thing, and then she's like, "So wait a minute, are Yoda and like Samuel L. Jackson like
lovers
leaders?" Ouch. I wasn't going to. I said leaders. You said lovers, but in either case, yes.
Yes, they are.
That's
when they were teenagers, they experimented a little bit, but they don't talk much about it now.
Well, the sailor in the room would know all about experimenting, wouldn't you, Mr. Brown?
In the Navy, sail the 7 seas in the Navy.
We love the village people.
Of course, who doesn't?
All right, sailor boy. But, yeah. So, there was a movie, gentlemen. God.
The training montage, which they totally ripped this off of The Mandalorian. They did this.
This came out in 1991.
No, they ripped this off for The Mandalorian.
Oh,
in the scene,
I'm so sorry.
in the episode where they're training all the villagers.
I've not seen The Mandalorian.
Oh,
yet,
there's a total like the bad guys are coming and you're just a bunch of farmers, so they teach them to fight with sticks, and it's like
well, and this is something that I can't really tell Kaylee about Star Wars is that I was like, remind me to tell you my Harrison Ford story about Jedi when you watch it, because she hasn't gotten around to it yet. And Harrison Ford, even before they started making the new movies, all that other stuff, he was like, yeah, I never liked how this movie series ended. We end with a damn teddy bear tea party.
Well,
like, he was so pissed. And no,
well, because don't forget how they sold it to him. They sold it to them saying...
I don't know this story.
Well, no, because it wasn't supposed to be Ewoks. Originally, it was going to be Wookiees, which suddenly makes a lot of sense.
How do I not know this?
Yeah.
Now he's pissed, yeah.
It was going to be on Kashyyyk, and it was going to be Wookiees.
Yeah, because I've read the books where they go to Kashyyyk.
Yeah, and then somebody went, we could make them teddy bears and then sell the shit out of those.
Oh, my God. I did not...
Now they have a sale.
Wow.
They have a sale.
Didn't know that.
They have a sale to carriage now, right? Now, who is this actress? Is that she from Ferris Bueller?
I know her from somewhere.
That's not Ferris's girlfriend. No.
I know her from somewhere.
Okay.
I had the same reaction whenever I saw her. I was like, I need to look her up, but she doesn't have a name.
Because to give our hindsiders some edification of what the hell is happening. So yeah, you've got the training montage, and you've got the montage of where like Robin has accommodated the sheriff's horse.
Nothing can ever keep him down. You're best.
Around ponytail,
montage,
mullet.
Ponytail.
Sorry, Mr. Brown. Bob's Burgers references, so you don't know what we're talking about. But yeah, so they go through this whole montage of where Robin...
Something vexing you?
Stop it! Robin is taking back some justice from the sheriff. And he flat out tells the sheriff's men, every harm that you do to your people, I'll visit back on you tenfold. So he's protecting the churches, the people, and whatnot. And Azim is teaching people how to fight with a Saracen sword, despite the fact that he's literally the only one with a Saracen sword. So they're learning how to sword fight. They're learning how to shoot arrows, because when all of the townspeople get turned into outlaws as well, due to Robin stealing the one horse. Yeah. So they're all stuck there, and now they've decided, okay, we're going to fight back. So that's the whole montage that's happening right now, where Robin and his men and now their families and stuff.
Yeah, well, that's like at the end of the
out.
movie, whenever Aziz is like
Azim,
whatever,
M as in Mancy.
Yeah. Whenever he's like, hey, everyone, I'm an outsider, but I really like that Robin Hood guy. Let's go to war. And they're all like, that's an excellent idea.
Why not? Let's follow you. Because if Morgan Freeman told me to start an uprising, I'd probably do it.
You mean God?
Yes.
Yeah.
See?
Morgan Freeman really is. There are very few characters who can play God convincingly.
Morgan Freeman just killed it as God. Like,
yeah.
George Burns and Morgan Freeman, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no. And James Mason.
Yeah, James Mason.
Cut rate James Mason.
Yes.
James Mason. But yeah, he could do it. Alan Rickman could have done it. Well, no, Alan Rickman already
played an angel.
Yeah, I was about to say
he
he was in Dogma as one of the archangels. So, yeah.
You know, I heard a story, and I don't know if this is true, and I kind of hope it's not true, that when they were editing the movie, because of course there was some big kerfuffle with them firing the editor and all this stuff, but that apparently Kevin Costner watched it and realized that Alan Rickman was
the star of the movie.
Yeah. and started cutting scenes.
How does the star of the movie even get that kind of license? Like, if
you're Kevin Costner,
back then,
he was one of the producers.
Burt Reynolds, like he was one of the biggest names back in the day. So,
I mean, he was one of the producers, and he was Kevin Costner. He could just, because remember, at a certain point, you might have to do reshoots. You got to have the actor going out and publicizing stuff. If you piss him off,
he could really torch the whole project.
Yeah, he could, all
right.
Yeah,
okay, that sucks because. I'm sorry, Alan Rickman is the star of this movie.
Oh, absolutely.
He is. And that's saying something.
Yeah.
Considering Morgan damn Freeman's in it, too. So, gentlemen...
He's hardly trying, though.
Shut up. Yes, he is. Anyway.
Oh, this is the scene where Bilbo and... not Bilbo.
Bilbo.
No.
Adam, Josh wants you dead, just so you know, because I won't stop singing that damn song now. So, stay in your bunker.
It is catchy.
Stay in your bunker. Bilbo Baggins.
Bravest little hobbit of them all.
I got to pause for a moment because I'm embarrassed to say this is the first time that I've done a full analysis on IMDb, and I just noticed that there's a character called Much, M-U-C-H, played by Jack Wilde. Do you know who Jack Wilde is?
I do not.
He played Jimmy on H.R. Puffin stuff as a kid. I mean, he was a famous child actor. And
really?
I got to know which one of these old people is Jimmy from H.R. Puffin stuff.
Probably
with Freddie the flute. Remember Freddie?
Probably whichever
encrusted flute.
Whichever one looks like has the most experience with LSD.
Yeah.
Because H.R. Puffin stuff is the trippiest goddamn thing that's ever been made.
Damn, I did. Yeah, even trippier than Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah, honestly, yes.
Oh my God,
it's very trippy.
That's crazy. But so all right, revisiting the big names in this movie. So you've got Kevin Costner, Christian Slater, Alan Rickman, Morgan Freeman, and Walter Sparrow. Back in 1991, would you gentlemen care to venture a guess as to how old any of these people might have been at the time? It will surprise you.
I mean, Kevin, God, how old is he now?
He's got to be late, mid-60s. So I'd say he was in his 30s.
Yes, so Kevin Costner was 36. Good guess, Adam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then you have Christian Slater.
Oh, Slater? I'd put him at 18, 20?
20s, mid-20s?
22.
22?
Y'all are both really close.
Okay, yeah. 22.
Alan Rickman.
Oh, 30?
Adam?
Yeah, Rickman was older. I'd say 32.
Wrong. He was 45.
What?
Oh!
Yep. He was 45. Oh, no, this one will get you. Morgan Freeman.
Well, he's eternal.
I know, but...
Time means nothing to him.
We still have to apply it to him for legal reasons. So
you mean in his current incarnation, then?
Yes.
Oh, 45.
He had to be 47.
He was 54, gentlemen.
Wait, how old is this movie? Was made in
91.
God.
And Morgan Freeman's in his 80s now.
He's in his 80s?
Yes.
I did not know that. I thought he was like 70-something.
Blew me away. So the oldest person in this movie that was, even a character that people focus on was Walter Sparrow, Duncan, the one who had his eyes freaking ripped out of his head. So apparently,
Gouged.
whatever.
Gouged.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So Walter Sparrow was
Possibly with a spoon.
What? We never did get back to that, did we? I'm gonna cut your heart out with a spoon. Then it begins, and that's one of the most quotable movies or lines of the entire movie. My God.
And then it begins.
I'm not.
You want to do another take on that? No, it's fine. Let's just film
Then it
another.
begins.
Just film another scene.
But Walter Sparrow of Secret Garden, Ever After, Now and Then, dude's been in so many movies. He was 64 when they filmed this movie.
The Happy Hooker Goes to Washington. He had a bit part.
Jim
Very small.
Stewart.
Uncredited part.
Mr. Washington. Oh no, wait,
Mr. Washington?
No, what's? Sorry, I just blended them together.
The Happy Hooker Goes to Mr.
No, so and so. What's that Jimmy Stewart movie where he goes?
Mr. Chips?
No, where he goes to Washington.
Goodbye, Mr. I'm not going to.
I hate you.
Goodbye.
See, I'm not going to tell you Christian Slater movies either, so we're even. But yeah, so now we're at the point of the movie where we find Friar Tuck, a character that a lot of people would recognize.
Very, very complex character in this movie. Friar Tuck.
Okay.
Because he's sort of all over the place.
Well, yeah, he's not really a straight up friar. He's not. He's not an easily labeled Christian because he's a complete douchebag. He's a drunk.
He is.
There's a lot of stuff going on with him.
He's pretty much going to side along. Well, the whole movie, it feels like he's going to just side with whoever's going to give him beer. You know?
Yes.
Yeah, until the
He's
end.
in love with the drink.
Yeah, but he does very creatively kill the bishop.
That is, yeah. He did a good job with that.
That's a good scene where. That's actually one of the better scenes of the movie, I think, whenever he's putting all the gold on him and he's like, here's your 30 pieces of silver, Judas.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't call him Judas, but he, you know.
It's
but
an
then
allusion to
it's
Judas.
That's what it is, yeah.
But yeah, he loads him up with all of his silver and his gold and then shoves him out the window. But yeah, so Friar Tuck comes in, and what's great about his character is that, yeah, he's willing to fight an entire band of outlaws, single-handed, over beer.
Yeah, well, obviously.
I love it.
But here's my question about Friar Tuck. Okay, does he break the fourth wall in the very last shot?
Oh, of course he does.
So, okay, what the hell did he say? Because I watched it 3 times and I couldn't understand what the hell he was saying.
Hold on.
Admittedly, he was probably drunk.
Probably. Come, you waste good celebration time. And then he winks at the camera. But so then no, I guess he doesn't break the fourth wall because you have to assume that he's looking at Robin and Marion because he marries them, and they're kissing.
I don't know.
But see, I'm telling you, I know this movie by heart. So he's looking at them both. They're both kissing when they've been married, and he goes, "All right, get off out of it. You waste good celebration time."
Okay.
So he's talking to them, but it's a fourth wall sort of delivery.
They deleted the scene where Sean Connery walks up and just punches Marion in the face.
Why would he do that?
Because he's Sean Connery.
Because he hits women? I don't want to be alone in the studio with him, Jason. You've said, that's your ideal man to play you in a movie.
It'd be great.
Would it be great for me to get punched in the face?
No, it'd be great for him imagining a movie of my life.
God.
But with Sean Connery playing.
There's that time that Darth got punched in the damn face.
Just imagining Sean Connery driving my car, going to Chick-fil-A. How about a chicken sandwich? You hold the goddamn tomatoes.
They don't. What? I don't even know.
On the spicy chicken sandwich, you get a tomato on it.
Oh, I've never had the spicy one. I don't like spicy stuff. All right, cool, good to know. But
so let's talk.
Good to know that you'd sacrifice my safety for Sean Connery to be in the studio. That's just good.
I just think it would be an interesting movie.
So let's just talk about what now?
Because then you take the bottle and you'd smash a bottle over his head, and the two of you would end up punching each other and probably end up making out. Because it's Sean Connery.
You know what? If I could make out with him at the end of it, all right, I'm in.
So let's talk about the challenge that I set to both of you, which was to name the actor that you would most want to play you.
Wait, hold on a second. Just before you do, look at this character to the right. The two guys right there.
You have Bull on the left.
Which one's right?
The one who doesn't know left from right. Yes.
So Frodo and Samwise. Yes.
Yeah, the guy with the fern on his head.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is Freddie from HR.
Oh.
Okay. We can proceed now.
Okay.
Oh my God! I never would have known. It's like how we found Elliot from E.T. in Fire in the Sky. That's just so random. My God. And see, here we go now to Marion being a badass, because gotta have that strong independent woman vibe in the 90s where Marion's just kicking dudes in the face.
And it was supposed to be Robin Wright. Yeah, it was supposed to be Robin Wright.
What now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Marion.
Tell me this story.
Marion was I think she was cast, and
think about this. If Carrie and Robin Wright had done it, and yes, I do call him Carrie.
Yeah,
I will forever.
I know.
Call him Carrie.
It's a weird coincidence. But she was actually signed up for it. But she became in the family way, and so she had to take some time off.
Well, see, I wish who's the director of this movie? I'm failing right now.
The guy whose other movie was Waterworld.
Shut up. I can't think of his name right now. But here's a power play, gentlemen. So when Julie Andrews was cast to be Mary Poppins, do you know how that happened?
I mean, I've seen Mr. Banks.
Okay, no. So what happened is Disney himself saw her in a show, and it was a play. So he went up to her, asked to talk to her after the show, and he was like, "Hey, so we're making this movie called Mary Poppins. You'd be perfect for it. I'd like you to be Mary Poppins." And she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, I can't. I'm gonna have a baby, and this was one of the last shows that I'm doing." He goes, "That's all right. We'll wait."
Yeah.
And Disney said that to frickin' Julie Andrews.
Julie Andrews, she was in town.
That was not naked Kevin Costner there. That moment that we just missed.
Yeah, she was in town in December, and she did an evening, just an evening with Julie Andrews. And
I miss these things.
You gotta keep up on Ticketmaster, you know. And I'd actually originally bought tickets for me and Elaine to go, but then I thought it was Julie Andrews. I thought she was going to sing, but it ended up it was just a conversation with Julie Andrews. So I said, "Well, why don't you and our neighbor,
Well, she's had a lot of surgeries.
She talked about
sing,
that. Yeah,
she doesn't sing.
Yeah, she had throat
anymore.
surgery.
Mm-hmm. She had polyps or something in her throat.
Yeah, they thought she had cancer. They did this surgery. It ruined her singing voice. Turned out she didn't even have cancer. So it's like, but she was talking about how Walt Disney, Walt took her and the family beforehand, and they met up somewhere, and he took them on the trip, and she's like, you gotta understand, at the time we didn't have any money, and we're hanging out with Walt Disney.
Yeah, that's a huge deal.
And she was just saying how it was just this mind-blowing experience to be with this guy who, if he wants to, he'll order a new train to put in his backyard.
It's kind of like it's kind of like Macaulay Culkin being sort of anointed, as it were, by Michael Jackson. And for all these years, Macaulay Culkin has I know. He has said for years.
I've never heard it called anointed before.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah,
it's in the documentaries. Watch the documentaries, gentlemen. But that's the thing is that
it's a felony.
If you, that just derailed me. Speaking of trains, so screw you, Jason. But
hey, have you seen the Surviving Porries documentary?
No.
Holy shit.
Another quarantine suggestion.
Yeah, it's pretty tough.
I don't want to watch the Cobain one, and I don't want to watch that. I'm going to put that out there. Hindsighters.
The Cobain one would be fine. The Corey one, no. It will disturb you and make you angry.
Okay. Something that will neither disturb or make you angry is this awesome documentary that's going around on Netflix right now. Hindsighters, and everybody's heard about it. Joe Exotic, the tiger guy.
Oh, yeah, I have heard of it. I haven't
What
seen
is the documentary actually called? Let me look it up real fast. The Tiger King.
So he's like an asshole, right?
He was this guy who, back in the 90s, had a big cat preserve. So, he had ligers, jaguars, tigers, just big cats in general. And there was also another woman who had a big cat preserve. And
Did you say liger?
Yes, ligers.
From, Napoleon Dynamite?
Yes, but they're actual animals. I was about to say, they're bred for their skills in magic. No, but it is pointless to breed ligers because they're sterile. So ligers are pointless. It's literally just, hey, there's a liger, and that's it. And then it dies, and there you go. But Joe Exotic is this real guy who had a big cat preserve back in the 90s in Ohio. And there was a woman who was kind of contesting his abilities to keep the cats, like, oh, they belong in the wild, but she also had a big cat preserve. And she and her husband were against Joe Exotic.
It's like
and
competing cat preserves?
But, like, I'm telling you, hindsighters, competing cat preserves, basically. So there's polygamy, there's homosexuality, there's, like, every box you could possibly check is in this documentary.
What I call a fun
cats.
weekend.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That was yesterday for me.
Yeah.
My God.
Vegas 2018.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and I was like, did one of the Siegfried and Roy cats wind up here? Like,
Damn, that's cool, man.
Where were they going to go? Like, Gilmore Girls hit that really quick. They were like, oh, because the grandma, Emily Bishop, was like, oh, it's like that gay fellow whose tiger tried to eat him. But he does fit into that category, Joe Exotic. So watch that on Netflix, because I swear to God, you're never going to hit a story that checks so many boxes.
Look it up. I like a good documentary.
Yeah, it's great.
I will watch it. I've jotted it down.
Yep.
I'm watching it.
But let's hold on.
I might just put it on right now and just start watching
instead of this movie.
Instead of Robin Hood.
This is a sweet moment, and even maybe Mr. Brown will side with me. So we're at this moment in the movie where this little girl runs up to Morgan Freeman, and they call him a painted Moor. I'm assuming because of his freckles.
I thought those were tattoos.
No, I think that's how it serves in the movie. But Morgan Freeman actually has those freckles in real life. Like that's just his face.
Well, yeah, but he's got like a pattern in the. I mean, it looks looks tattooed.
I think they added to it.
Okay.
They supplemented it, but Morgan Freeman does have those kind of freckles like coming off of his nose in his face in real life. But there's this really sweet moment. This little bitty girl runs up to him and she's like, "Did God paint you?" And he goes, "Did God paint me?"
What the fuck?
No, it's sweet. God.
What did you say to me, you little cracker ass?
I'm gonna hit you. No, but she says, "Did God paint you?" Because think about the timeline.
Exactly,
She's not running into many African American or Arabic or anybody not white.
There are tons of innocent stories like that, where like during the Cold War, whenever somebody would defect from the Soviet Union, they literally, you're talking like a 40-year-old man who's never seen a black person in his entire life.
Okay.
And they come to America, and that
we
was
got a hodgepodge of folks over here.
Well, but that was the thing that they would like when the people were telling them how to like sort of fit in. It was
I see.
Like just walk up, because they would literally walk up and ask to touch their hair.
Yeah, it's
like, don't do that.
No, don't do that. Don't pull the Seth MacFarlane. Ooh, it's like a sheep.
Yeah,
don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. But no, it is a sweet little moment. This little single-digit child runs up to Morgan Freeman. "Did God paint you?" And he said, "Yeah, God painted me for certain." And she goes, "Why?" He goes, "Because Allah loves wondrous variety."
See, that's the mistake.
And I love that.
That's the mistake. When a kid asks you a stupid ass question like that, be careful, because if you ask something with a why follow up, you're gonna be there all day.
But he answered it so well. That's like, you guys suck.
Allah likes his diversity. Why?
No. See, I don't have children, so maybe that's what I'm missing. I don't know.
I don't know. That's like my son is finally at the age where he'll ask me something and I feel comfortable just going, "Dude, I don't know. I don't know." I don't know.
You are right, Jason. They did paint up the side of Morgan Freeman's face. You're right about that, in the sense that they went up the side of his eyes, but he does have freckles down his nose and stuff in real life. So, that's why they call him the painted Moor. See? Hindsight is horrifying.
I hate the scene. I hate the scene so much.
What's wrong with this scene? Okay, so Fanny, the wife...
Okay, there's something coming out of her fanny right now.
Sorry.
And it's large and bloody.
What's wrong?
Adam, you know what? You fill the people in for the damn change. I'm so angry.
Fanny. It's like this shit.
Fanny is having a baby. But it's
as is wont to happen.
They were in quarantine for 2 weeks. She's having a coronita right now.
No, but you have to think anyone in England sitting in a movie theater is basically listening to them going, "Can you help me? My wife, vagina, is having a baby." It'll
a
be
lot of vagina.
It'll be okay, vagina.
Like in Austin Powers. So, Adam, what the hell is happening?
Well, this is a nice part because the Moor has a certain skill set when it comes to helping to deliver babies.
With horses.
Friar Tuck, well, you get your experience wherever you can. But Friar Tuck says not to trust him because he is evil.
Yes.
But as it turns out, he successfully delivers the baby, and everyone in the room takes one more step towards self-actualization.
Yes.
Where they can accept people for who they are.
You made me care.
I care now. You made me care more. No, but and the baby, and as both of you gentlemen who have children amongst you, every woman has a baby that quickly. Every birth, I know it changes. It's different for every woman. Obviously, I'm not that ignorant, but yeah, she has a baby in about 2 minutes.
Well, I mean, it's a cesarean.
I was going to say it was a 45-minute birth, but then the editor got a hold of it.
Yeah.
This movie can't be any longer. It's already way too long.
We're already having a woman named Fanny having a baby, and English people are going to be confused.
Yeah.
And no.
Well, because they're going to say, what's going on in this scene? Oh, Fanny's having a baby. Yeah, big deal.
And they do bridge.
Happens all the time.
Women having babies, imagine.
No,
especially
Fanny having babies.
especially 9 months from now, huh? But so they do make an effort
This is such a retarded scene. Let's dance stupidly.
Well, there's a party going on outside regardless of Fanny having a baby.
And let's hope that she doesn't get a horrible infection or bleed to death.
Well, what were you going to do back in 1194?
Well,
that's when this takes place, 1194 AD.
I'm just saying, I think I don't see in 1194 a woman having a cesarean section by a guy who's only seen it done on horses, and then like 2 days later she's fighting people.
Suspend your disbelief.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
That's what Hollywood's all about, Jason.
All right.
Thank you,
that.
Adam.
All right.
But yeah, Slater just got dissed in the movie because he not only has been shot in the hand, Robin shot him in the hand with an arrow earlier.
Did he get him in the hand? I watched that this time.
No, he shot him through the hand, clear through the hand.
Oh, so it did go through the hand. It didn't go through his glove. Because the way
I thought it was through the top of his glove.
That's what I...
No, it was through his hand. It was through his hand.
It was? Because I was looking at that this time around, and it really is obvious that they stuck an arrow through his glove. And I'm thinking, did they do that for the... Because that's just how you did the effect?
I think that was practical effect confusion is what it was. But because he's about to throw a knife at Robin earlier in the movie because he's of the volition of, let's turn Robin in. He's worth 500 gold pieces. Screw him, whatever. And Robin wins over the outlaws and the misfits by saying, do you really think the sheriff's going to give everything back?
And the Goonies.
Yeah, you gotta love the Goonies. You gotta love them. But
baby.
But Robin sort of recruits everybody. He's not really their leader. He's just
So he told Duncan, okay, your motivation is just look like you really have to fart.
Oh,
what?
It's like the whole movie.
No, Adam, you'll see it when the video comes out.
Holding it
All right,
in.
I understand now. But anyway, Will gets shot through the hands earlier in the movie, and then he gets doubly dissed when they're having the party. Fanny just had the baby. Don't.
Fanny had a baby. Band name.
Shut up. But. So everybody's dancing. A new baby has arrived. That's great. Celebration. And then Christian Slater actually asks Marion to dance. And Kevin Costner's like, do you think I won't hit you? I've already thrown my book at you. Slater.
Marion's my Fanny. Marion's my Fanny. Yeah. Get away from her, Will.
Get your hands off my Fanny.
I hate both of you
Jade.
so much.
Hey,
no, you're not.
Don't blame us. They're the ones who didn't bother to, maybe get an English person to read the script first.
Just F off. I love this movie. Whatever. So Christian Slater does get doubly dissed when he does ask Marion to dance, and Kevin Costner's like, no, this lady's spoken for. Piss off.
I'm going to dance with her.
Piss off. So, yeah, there's that. And we haven't even talked about the witch.
Yeah, and I was wondering, in the version that's on Amazon, doesn't have the scene in it that was, because it was the extended version that was on the DVD, where she told the sheriff that he was her son, because that's his mom. The witch is the sheriff's mom.
Oh, the Netflix version doesn't reflect that?
It doesn't have that.
Oh,
it doesn't have that scene in.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So,
or the Amazon Prime one, the one that I bought.
I was about to say, whichever one I saw, like, is the extended version, and yeah, she is his mom.
Yeah,
like that.
It's not in this version.
That's why he's so respectful of her, because even when he does interact with her,
well, no, he doesn't know. She tells him, and he's all like pissed off, because she killed.
Oh my God, you're
she
right.
killed, his parents' actual baby and swapped him.
Wait a minute, no, I haven't seen this. Like,
Yeah.
I've heard different versions where she is his mom. Like, that's not uncommon, but
Yeah.
what? She killed his parents?
No. She killed their kid, and he's a changeling. She swapped him out for theirs.
I've never seen
so
this
he would
version.
be raised as this not as the sheriff, but as the son of this important family. And that's why she's always been paying attention to him and trying to make sure that he gets someplace.
Didn't know that.
Yep.
Didn't know that at all.
Yep.
Like, 'cause-
Wow.
yeah, and
So
I
did
love
I.
this movie so
That's
much.
deep.
So damn.
That's some deep dive shit right there.
Yeah, it is. He went down the rabbit hole to find
That's
that
some
version
inside the actor's studio shit there.
What is your favorite swear word? Kind of.
God rest your soul, James Lipton,
Oh my
who
God.
just passed away.
James Lipton died?
James Lipton. I know. It sucks. James Lipton died.
You're just ruining my life today. What
know.
the hell,
So
Jason?
let's go through. So when I die, I plan to meet Burt Reynolds, Alan Rickman, Bill Paxton, and James Lipton. Those are the 4 people I want to meet.
Why Bill Paxton?
Because it's Bill Paxton. I want to go hang out.
No. But like everyone else, I'm like, oh yeah. Bill Paxton.
Oh, come on. Yeah, it'd be cool hanging out with Bill Paxton.
I'm not saying it
It'd
wouldn't,
be like,
but
dude, welcome to heaven. Like,
Okay.
oh, hey, Bill Paxton.
all right. Chet, cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You want to get some beers? Let's get some beers. Hey,
Let's get
we're
some
in-
variant beers.
we're in
Which, speaking of which, before we go off that subject, variant beer, you can get it right now during this. What are we calling it? The world shutdown, the quarantine, whatever.
Much Ado About Nothing.
I hate you. Yeah, because I feel like the star of the show, so why not? Yeah, no, but seriously, Hindsighters, you can get variant beer right now. It's only available for curbside pickup for Crowlers. We had it our last episode, and I was just ridiculously amiss and didn't mention it. I know you can see us now, and you can see the variant beers. We're still drinking them. We still love the variant beers,
Absolutely
so please
love
check out variant, especially when things pop back up and spring arrives, as it were, and we can go back outside again. So
Guests of Hindsight is horrifying. Drink variant beer and then crash at Darth's house.
yes, exactly. They'll be a part of the quarantinis, so don't you worry. I'll mix them in.
We could do like a quarantini, like a Boilermaker kind of thing. Ooh. Like a variant beer and then drop like a shot glass of
That'll get ghetto
of
real
whiskey.
quick.
Yeah, Boilermakers that's pretty trash.
Yeah,
it's
a little
pretty
bit, a little
trashy drink.
ghetto. But so Darth's house. My dogs have destroyed my backyard anyway. It's all mud now because rain and dogs. So
Yeah, because for those of you who don't live in North Fulton County, Georgia, it's been raining for 9 months. I think.
what did Forrest Gump say? It started raining one day and it didn't stop for 3 months.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what's happening in North Georgia on top of the quarantine.
Yeah, we had actually today was pretty sunny and that was nice because
It got almost up to like 75.
it was actually kind of comfortable. I actually walked out of the office and I said, I'm going to walk down to Avalon and go to Starbucks and get a cup of coffee.
I didn't wear a jacket today. Like
Yeah, Starbucks is closed though because of the quarantine.
quarantines.
So that
Yeah. So anyway, drink variant. If you're healthy, go out and support your local businesses. Please do. We're going to be starting a support page. So any of you in our country that we can help locally, or
if you're an artist, a crafts person, or what, I mean, if
we
it's-
don't care.
yeah,
Hairdressers,
yeah.
bartenders, whatever. Whoever needs help.
Yeah, if you've got a GoFundMe or a Kickstarter or something, let us know. Get in touch with us.
And like I said, no qualms, because my friend Blair Crimmins, he's a musician and he has a virtual tip jar, and he's gone live with his music. So anything you got that we can help you out, please let us know. Well, we don't really have email, but hit us up on social media, and we will definitely help you out on our support page. It's an ongoing effort. Yeah. So it's not first come, first served or anything. You just let us know that you need help and we'll be there.
Yeah,
so
we'll do what we can because that's what
Absolutely.
we're all about. It's funny because you watch Robin Hood and
we're not robbing from the rich to give to you guys.
no,
but
but ultimately that's I think why is it that Errol Flynn made Robin Hood, Kevin Costner made Robin Hood. There was the BBC series that they just did on Robin Hood. Russell Crowe did it. Why is Robin Hood so popular? And it's
despite the fact that he's a legend, he's not technically a real person.
Well, but it speaks to this part of us where we do want to help other people.
Absolutely.
And obviously you want to help your family and your friends, and you're going to do that first, and I get that, and that's noble. I would be shocked if people didn't do that. But, there's a human desire to help your fellow man, and, if we can facilitate that a little bit, then we want to.
Absolutely. So you guys hit us up on social media, the Hindsight Horror on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You can find me.
You can find us.
You can find us. And you can find our website, hindsight.show. So anybody who needs help, just let us know.
Now we are coming up to we're over an hour and a half into this episode. So
I think people need help more now with entertainment more than ever.
So. Well, I do want to, before we start wrapping things up,
because we do have to do that. I can't keep taking punches on behalf of this movie.
I'm just going to go ahead and ask it, both of you, who is the actor you would want to play you in a movie? Because I actually came up with someone different. I figured,
really,
just to spice it up, I came up with somebody, else.
Okay.
So you guys go first. Who would you want to have play you?
Adam, do you want to take it, or do you want me?
I'll start it off, and this is not going to surprise you, but as a young man, you always want to be portrayed as someone very cool. And as you know, I've got degrees in chemical and nuclear engineering, and when I was at college, I was not one of those cool fellows. I really wasn't. But in my heart of hearts, I wanted Clint Eastwood. We're talking 68 to 72, rawhide, Dirty Harry. I loved watching that movie, and I just wanted to be Clint Eastwood. You know how Austin Powers, women want to be with him, men want to be him. That was my first kind of man emulation. And then, of course, once the 80s hit, and Miami Vice hit the streets, it was Don Johnson. I just wanted to be.
How did I know that was coming?
Cool.
Respect.
I just knew.
Oh my God! Smoking, cigarettes without filters. Just the hair. He was so tough. He was a good guy. And that's who I would want to play me. Now, who would really play me? I don't know if you ever heard of Michael Cera.
I think everyone knows who Michael Cera is.
Oh my God!
Maybe Jesse Eisenberg.
Oh,
okay, that was me. And then it's funny. I have a third one. If you ever watched the movie Kick-Ass, there was an actor named Aaron Taylor Johnson who played the nerd who wanted to get dressed up.
Not sure who that is.
And I thought of possibly him. Have you ever seen the movie Kick-Ass?
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking up your guy right now.
Yeah,
I don't know who that is. I haven't seen that movie, no.
That's a good movie, yeah.
It was a great movie. But then when I looked him up now, I'm like, oh, he's way too cool to play me now. He's
That's
actually
an awfully
a very
good-looking man. Like that. Yeah, that's. I can see it.
So that's full circle. I started with the really sexy guys, went to Jesse Eisenberg, Michael Cera, and then pulled it all back around to someone who played a nerd, but then looks really, really cool. So that's my contribution.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right, Darth, your turn.
Okay, so gentlemen, I actually am a little bit biased because I'm hitting my microphone stand. But back in my bartender days, one of the things that happens if you've never been a server, you've never been a bartender, people love to tell you who you look like when you're a server or a bartender. When you're the person approaching their table, serving them drinks, for whatever reason, it's just something people like to do. Back in the day, I had nothing to do with this. Back in the day, people would tell me when I approached their table, depending on my haircut, I looked like Demi Moore or Zooey Deschanel. Which,
not bad people to be compared to.
Huge compliments. Yeah, I'm not upset about that, but I've never related to those actresses. So what I did is I had to take a poll amongst.
I don't think anybody really relates to Demi. I mean,
does anybody? She's a goddess. Like it just. She's so perfect. See, that's why
Zooey Deschanel. I love her too.
I love them. They're both beautiful women, but
this is about who you want.
No, I know. Yeah. So I took a poll to get some help from Kaylee and Meg and several other people. Allie, who's been on Hindsight as well, and some others who have not. And the consensus seems to be that the ideal version of me would be Jennifer Lawrence. From the Hunger Games.
Oh, yeah.
Katniss Everdeen from the Hunger Games.
Yep.
And the realistic version would be Aubrey Plaza, April from Parks and Recreation.
Oh, I like her.
Yeah, see? So it's
Where did she go?
She just did the Chucky movie. She was the newest one where Mark Hamill was Chucky.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
I know, because she's gorgeous. So I was hugely complimented.
She's a talented actress. She's really good.
She is. But that seems to be the consensus for me, and I can see it because Daria is not a real person. Otherwise, I would just be like, screw it, I'm Daria. I know I am. Like, it's okay.
Well,
but Mr. Brown, I will weigh in on this before Jason tells us who his new ideal pick was. I can definitely see the Clint Eastwood comparison.
Yeah.
Yes, I just love the scene when the Zodiac killer is driving the bus and there's Clint Eastwood waiting for him on the top of the bridge and Dirty Harry. The music plays. Oh, it's just so.
That's a movie.
Down your spine.
We need to do that movie one of these days because that franchise became so silly. But that first movie is one of the greatest movies in the history of American cinema, in my opinion. The original Dirty Harry was like something. There's never been a movie like it.
Yeah, can't even visit back. But just to make Jason feel super uncomfortable, as a person who's kissed you, Mr. Brown, I can definitely see the Clint Eastwood comparison. So that's a compliment just coming from my camp, so you know.
Well, I had said before, whenever we started this, the person I wanted was Sean Connery.
See, he glossed right past that.
I did. With Sean Connery. And then Martin Freeman would be the person who was most appropriate.
Right, okay.
And I still think Martin Freeman's the most appropriate. But I'm gonna say the person I would want to have play me.
You subbed out Sean Connery?
Well, no, for the
he's
purposes,
gonna punch you in the face.
Just for the purposes of this,
he's not gonna punch me. He's gonna
would
punch
be
you.
William Shatner. Because that would just be awesome. I would watch that show. Just William Shatner living my life.
But that's not ideal. You broke the rules of your own game. That's not who you really want. Is that?
No, that's the whole point.
Really?
It's who you want. It has nothing to do with them being appropriate.
Okay.
Because appropriate is fat.
No. I thought he was the ideal one.
No. He's the one that I would just want.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, he replaced
right.
Sean Connery.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
No, and then fat Chris Pratt. Old pudgy Chris Pratt before he was all like ripped.
So we're both people from Parks and Recreation. Is what I'm understanding.
And
I can see
it's an amazing coincidence that you said Aubrey Plaza because seriously. Yeah, not Chris Pratt, not like Jurassic World. Ooh, look at me, I'm Chris Pratt.
Yeah, they even make a moment out of that. And Adam, I'm not sure how familiar you are with Parks and Recreation, but when they started getting Chris Pratt all like prepped and ripped for Jurassic World and Marvel and all that whatnot, they made an excuse for it in the show, as you have to, kind of like when Phoebe on Friends gets pregnant, whatever. So Adam Scott looks at Chris Pratt and he's like, all you did to lose all that weight was stop drinking beer? How much beer were you drinking? And he was like, I know, right? Like a lot of it. And that's how they explain it on Parks and Recreation, and I love that.
So we'll get Michael Cera, fat Chris Pratt, so he'll have to put some weight back on. And,
so wait, are we going to vote? Like, who would be everybody that we elected for ourselves, do we get to vote who would be realistic
we can.
Against each other?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. All right, well,
because I still think Martin Freeman's probably more appropriate.
Well, let's save that for the end of the episode. So we'll give each other some time to think about, okay, we heard the actors, and we'll wrap it up. So we'll go after Seinfeld. Now, we haven't really talked about this movie at all. No, I can go out to Seinfeld because once again, I was about 11 or 12 when I saw
I
this
can
movie.
too. I saw it in the theater.
All right then. So we can. I hate you. Reverse it, Tina. Whoa. Jocelyn, you skank. But anyway, once again, Bob's Burgers. Sorry, Adam. So yeah, we're at the point, and you are too, where it's a long movie.
It's still got at least another hour left.
It does. Yeah. It's so
he kills the sheriff. There we go.
Yeah, that's the end of it. And so we'll do what we did with Die Hard. We'll hang in for a few more extra minutes because it's a long movie with Alan Rickman in it. So that being said, Robin Hood does come to Maid Marian's rescue, and when I say that, I didn't even fill that in. So Maid Marian sort of gets accosted by the sheriff because he finds out she's been consorting with outlaws, Robin of Locksley. And that makes him jealous and
that's
angry.
the excuse. He just wants to put a baby up in her.
Yeah, and he wants to align. He wants to align with royal blood. Excuse me, because that's what his witch tells him. She tells him to kill Azim, kill Robin of Locksley, marry Maid Marian. That's the agenda.
Is that all?
That's it. He's got a full menu, man. So that's what's happening. And yeah, Maid Marian gets accosted, unfortunately. But you have to give credit to the scene because. I'm sorry. And as a woman, I'm going to go ahead and put this out there so the gentlemen don't get uncomfortable. How many rape scenes are ever funny? This one is.
Okay. I got to tell you, I saw this in the theater too, and I was a Neanderthal naval officer, and I was dating a very liberated woman, and the whole audience broke out laughing during that rape scene when he drops his legs in and pulls her legs apart.
Yep.
And the girl would turn to me, she says, I can't believe they are laughing about a woman getting raped.
And how did you...
Come on, lighten up.
Yeah, what did you say, Adam? Like we're both dying to know.
Well, it depends on if it was like a first or second date, your response is, I know, that's terrible,
Well,
isn't it?
was he trying to get laid? That's the question.
After about 9 months of the relationship, it's, lighten up, you...
Once we were dating, it was, once we were going steady, it's like, come on, lighten up. But yeah, it was one of the first dates, so I was like, you're right, that is horrific. I can't believe I actually laughed at that, and I self-flagellated right there in the theater.
Were
Not
you
like Pee Wee Herman did, that's different. But
were you going together?
Oh,
no,
did you put your pen on her? Hi, Hugo. Hi, you stupid. You hang out with people who are spiritually old. Does that help?
Yes.
I think this might.
I'll stop talking now. Proceed, you two.
I think this might be, for me personally, the lowest on the Alf to Seinfeld scale that I've done. Because I liked it. I mean, it was I liked it enough as as a kid when I saw it, or not as whatever.
As a quarantine.
I'm gonna say it's a 2. I'm gonna give it a 2. Really don't care for it.
What?
Don't care for it. Don't care for it.
mad.
Thought I did.
I'm mad right now. All right, Mr. Brown, what you got to say?
I have to say I'm in a similar camp as Jason. I remember enjoying it when I watched it, and that's why my initial knee-jerk reaction was, "Ooh, Robin Hood, I like that." But then as I began watching this kind of syrupy, sweet, Hollywoodized, everyone's kind of clean, and there's not the grittiness that would be much more realistic for the time, and the silliness associated with it, and the saunter and the jokiness of Alan Rickman. I said, why am I watching this? It's because
you love Darth Jader. That's why.
That's right. Exactly. I love Darth Jader, and that's why I'm not going to give it a 2 like Jason did. I'm giving it a 3, and that's for you, Darth.
You are so lucky you're in your bunker right now, Mr. Brown.
What a gentleman. What a gentleman. So
wait till you see the video. My face is contorted into like 40 different shapes. I hate both of you right now.
Hey, look, if we watch The Untouchables, I've got a sneaky suspicion it'll probably hit a 2 also, because I loved it.
And y'all have put me through some real shit on this show.
I loved it.
The movies that y'all have made me watch, and you come down so hard on this one.
Wait till you see Captain Kronos.
I hate you.
It's so bad.
I
So, Darth?
believe you.
Yeah, go
What
on.
about you, Darth?
Suck it, gentlemen. I'm going higher on the scale because it got better. Believe it or not. Because, like you said, when I was
Believe it.
when I was an 11-year-old girl, as you said, shut up, Jason. As you said, Adam, when I was an 11-year-old girl, I had those sort of rose-colored glasses or Hollywood-colored glasses, whatever you want to put on them.
I'm just imagining you with like a unicorn thing on your shirt and like a little.
Believe it or not, I went to medieval times that week, the same week that I first saw this movie.
Oh, that's good. That's
So,
that's special.
It helped, but
Yeah.
no, but seriously, like I loved every character, and I couldn't have laughed at the rape scene when I was 11 because I barely even knew what was going on. But yeah, I have to, and this sounds so backwards. So let me be very clear. Rape is not funny, hindsighters. We're not making fun of rape. But Alan Rickman somehow made that rape scene funny. I don't know how he did it, but he did. Professor Snape. Yes, I brought up Harry Potter just to piss off both of you. You both suck. And now that I'm older, I'm super in love with Christian Slater. And never was a big fan of Kevin Costner. Like, I knew who he was. He was a big deal. Like Burt Reynolds. He was
a big deal.
And as a lady, I look like even the Brad Pitts of today, like I can look at somebody and be like, yeah, I understand why women are losing their minds over that person, but not me. Kevin Costner always fell in that camp for me. I was always a Christian Slater girl myself. Slater, hit me up on Twitter. So, the movie got funnier. I caught more bits. Like even Morgan Freeman, who Jason claims phones it in, he doesn't. He's got these great lines where there's a little bit of payoff that I know neither of you caught because neither of you took this seriously. So early in the movie, you find out Azim's name means Great One. And Kevin Costner messes with him. He goes, "Oh, Great One, did you give yourself this name?" It's a joke.
Name yourself, dude.
But then later, Azim was like, the hospitality in this country is as warm as the weather. And Kevin Costner's like, "Yeah, really?" And he goes, "It was a joke." So there's payoff in different portions that I know neither of you noticed. So
What do you mean, Data? I was joking, Captain.
Exactly. Yeah. So he is the Data of this movie. He is. So fine. But I love this movie.
And clearly amongst all these Caucasian men, he is definitely the great one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
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 Especially all these Caucasian ones who cannot speak with an English accent. Like,
right.
and I know. My man Carrie says it, so I'm going to agree with that. Fine. But even Friar Tuck, like, everybody has an English accent except for the two, like, highest paid stars in the world back in 1991, Christian Slater and Kevin Costner. So I love you both. Don't get me wrong. Slater more than Kevin. But I'm going to give it an 8.5.
Okay.
I love this movie. I'll die on this hilltop, gentlemen. I will. I love this movie. So, as the kids are saying,
and that is what we're all about. Because movies that you love they're special to you, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, and once again, I'll die on this hill. At me, ho, as the kids say.
That's what counts.
So, I don't care.
What does it mean to you? What is it? Your memories, your experience, all that stuff. Even if it's a big crappy piece of garbage.
All right, Bert. Trying your crappy Burt Reynolds impression.
It is an excellent Burt Reynolds impression.
Hindsighters, we've got to go because I'm about to beat him to
Wait,
death
careful.
with
There
this
might be a
bottle.
little left in that.
Oh, okay. Then I get the last of it.
Yeah.
Forget you.
If there's any left.
There's nothing in here.
Oh, sorry.
You suck. You're just the worst. So that being said, we did our Alp to Seinfeld. We did who would play us in a movie. Oh, so that's the last thing we have to do. Vote as to what's the most accurate to who should play us in a movie of the actors that we named.
Oh. That's tough.
Yeah.
That's
so
tough.
You don't have to go first if you don't want. Let's make Adam go first.
Oh, when he said Martin Freeman and the mannerisms and the intellect and the pithiness, I definitely would go with Martin Freeman.
And the lack of self-confidence.
Well,
no. It's mostly and heck, I love Martin Freeman. He's fantastic.
Oh, he's great.
And I have to say, Dara. I love Dara, and I think of you as Dara. So I'm going to give I'm going to give that my vote.
No,
for
honey,
Dara
that's a
for
cartoon.
Darth.
That's a cartoon.
Yeah,
So,
I know. I've seen it.
Daria. First of all.
Daria.
Daria, but
All right, then if it's not Daria, then it's definitely Jennifer Lawrence. We're going with Jennifer.
those are very different people, though.
J-Law?
J-Law.
I would fight shoulder to shoulder with you any day in Zone 3.
Aw.
Now you guys are just talking clicks and whistles. I don't even know what you're talking about.
He's complimenting me is what he's doing, because I'm the pretty one. So, of
What
course,
is the
that's what he's
Zone
going
3?
to do. He's talking about the Hunger Games. Yeah, I think that's
That
just
one with the kids in it? Nah, I
where the
didn't see
teens
it.
kill each other. Yes. Okay. All right. I'll accept that compliment. But yeah, I've been called Daria since I was in high school, so I can see that as well. But yeah, all right. So I think I already made my vote for you, Mr. Brown. Like, you would be younger Clint Eastwood. And
Yeah, because I don't know who else would play either of you. I think Michael Stipe. No, maybe not.
do you need to
Michael
revisit the
Stipe. Michael
options?
Stipe's not really an actor.
Like, I'm gonna agree with the Martin Freeman for you, just because
Yeah.
Sean Connery is so like.
Well, no,
He's
again,
this old ass Scottish man, and
Well, that's why it
he
would
was
be
super
awesome.
beautiful back when he was young.
see, that's what I'm saying. I don't think you get the point of the game is it's like it could be anyone. I could have picked Mr. T.
And with all due respect, I just don't see it. So my vote for you is also Martin Freeman.
All right.
But Martin Freeman's good looking
Oh,
dude.
I'm totally
he's
down with
funny.
that, yeah.
He's pithy, as Adam said. So what's your vote for me, Jason? Because y'all both voted.
Aubrey
so.
Plaza.
April from Parks and Recreation.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll accept that.
Yeah.
All beautiful ladies.
I wish
I'll accept that.
to God she would come back and make movies and stuff.
Yeah, I like her
know?
a lot. She actually got
Come on,
mad at
Netflix.
Michael Cera.
Come on, Netflix, give her a series.
She got mad at Michael Cera on the red carpet in a situation because y'all brought up Michael Cera, where he just
He was in Twin Peaks. He was in the new Twin Peaks.
Of course he was. Of course you know that. But he just sort of grabbed her or nudged her or something, and she lost her mind on him. She was like, "Don't effing do that!" Like she screamed at him on the red carpet while they were being interviewed. So I don't know what Michael Cera could possibly do to insult or piss off anyone, because he's
That's weird.
yeah, I don't really see that. But yeah, she lost her mind on him. So that being said, Robin Hood. So final thoughts, gentlemen.
Still got another hour left.
No, yeah, it's still going on. So we're still
I think I've said everything that I can say about it. I think everyone knows
okay.
where
That's
I'm
fine.
at on it.
That's fine. Adam, anything else?
Yeah, I'm all used up. Man. I can't say anymore.
Well,
Back to you, Darth.
you both are the worst, and I'm mad at both of you. Because there's a great, there are just so many little jokes and payoffs in this movie that I don't think y'all respected or liked, and that's fine. Once again, that makes contention makes a great episode. So okay, but yeah, we're at the end. Alan Rickman dies.
Yeah.
And Robin is the one who kills him with his own dagger. That's the one thing we didn't mention. Marion contributes the dagger that the sheriff gave her to Robin's need for his people, but he pockets it, and that's what he kills the sheriff with. So there, another nice little turn, another nice little payoff. But this is a movie that I adore. I will always adore. So, hindsighters, I'm sorry that we didn't really talk about it.
I think we covered it pretty good.
Well, of course you think that, but
Yeah, we gave it more airtime than we should have. Sorry, John.
you're just mad. You're brave right now because you're in your bunker. Wait till I see you next time. Wait.
Well,
I'll be much more modest when we're together, for sure.
Well, having said all of that, and again, understanding that you guys are still locked in your respective quarantine zones, and we appreciate the fact that you're taking some of your quarantine time out to listen to us. So thank you for spending your daytime.
We do appreciate that.
your daytime, your nighttime, your quarantine time, your panicking time,
Your quarantine.
Yeah, you're watching the news and rocking back and forth and softly whimpering to yourself time. And we're going to be here again. We'll be right back here next week, we'll have something else to talk about. And so we hope that you will be back here with us also.
Please find us on the social mediums, and we appreciate each and every one of you. Stay tuned, stay safe. This has been Hindsight, and good night.